What's up everyone, it's Iceman Oz, aka Jay, straight from the Kangaroo in your living room. Yeah, today I'm back with some Battlefield 4 gameplay for you guys, and today, if you haven't noticed, this is my first Battlefield 4 gameplay. The game has been out for over a week now, and I wanted to really get my teeth into it. I really wanted to play it a ton, and then give you my thoughts on it. I see some other people, posting videos about it straight away. That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to actually play the game and then give some of my thoughts on it after I've actually learnt how to play the game, because I don't want to give you guys tips or advice or anything like that when I don't even know how to play the game myself. So that's pretty much that. So, after putting in a considerable amount of time into Battlefield 4 so far, I'd like to give you my opinion on it. A little background, I've been playing Battlefield games for years. In Battlefield 3, I had over 1,000 hours played, and if you're into kill-death ratio, I had like a 4.02 kill-death ratio, like a 3 win-loss. If you're into stats, there it is for you. But I know my way around the Battlefield. Recently, I switched to PC gaming, so the gameplay you'll be seeing on my channel is Battlefield 4 gameplay on PC, and I'd like to just say right now that this game is amazing on PC. I haven't had time to play it on current gen consoles. Apparently it's really good on console as well, and that doesn't surprise me. DICE always put out good products, even for the current gen consoles, which some people argue that the game shouldn't even be on current gen consoles just because of the hardware being so old. DICE put it out on there, and it's still good apparently, so I commend DICE for that. They definitely did a good job if that is the case. I'll have to get my hands on it on the consoles, but I can say on the PC side it is very good. There are a couple of issues. I will get into that a little bit later in the video, but we are going to go in depth into Battlefield 4. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So, the first thing I noticed when playing Battlefield 4 is the gunplay is really different. And I was thinking to myself, what's going on here? Is the damage for the weapons being increased? What is going on here? So I went back to Battlefield 3 and done some comparisons with the M16A3. And I noticed something, that all of the assault rifles and pretty much all of the weapons, even the SMGs and the LMGs, just everything, was better than the best weapon back in Battlefield 3, which was the M16A3. Even at close range, the M16A3 would just have a ton of recoil. In this game, the weapons don't have all that much recoil. I mean, some of them do, like the heavy LMGs, but you can just tap fire and take people out. But I can definitely tell you that the recoil is not only easier to control, and it's easier to hit your targets. It's definitely just easier overall. I think the reason for that is the addition of the extra attachments. So in each weapon, you can add on an extra attachment, and a lot of the positives outweigh the negatives in terms of weapon balance. So you're going to see a lot of laser guns in the game, and that's just the way it is. I feel like DICE intentionally did this just to, sometimes they feel like, they shouldn't have got that death, or they should have got that kill, and I feel like when you play this game, a lot of time that happens. Although, in saying that, on the PC side, there is a lot of rubber banding. I'm going to get into that a little bit later. But back on point, the weapons are a lot easier to control. The weapon damage hasn't been increased. The reason the time to kill is a lot faster, one is because of the recoil. The second reason is because the suppression has pretty much been removed. The LMGs still have suppression, sniper rifles have suppression, but it's nowhere near what it was in Battlefield 3, and I feel like that contributes to it a lot. So that's pretty much the game, the gunplay. Going into customization, they've definitely improved it a lot. Back in Battlefield 3, you kind of had your standard setup where you could choose your 3 attachments, your pistol, and all of that. They've gone really in depth with this game. You got different types of suppressors, and when you're looking at it, it's almost overwhelming at first. But once you put more time into it, you'll see that it's a lot of fun to customize your weapon, camos, and just pretty much anything you can think of, you can do. You can create your own logos and all of that through Battlelog. And customization has taken a huge leap. While it was like a 5 back in Battlefield 3, they put it up to like a 9.5 in Battlefield 4, so you definitely got to commend them for that. The other thing I've noticed about Battlefield 4 is I was thinking about this. This game feels a lot like Medal of Honor to me. Now, hear me out here. So I played Medal of Honor Warfighter, not too much, but quite a bit, and I know that DICE worked closely with the team that created Medal of Honor, and you know, I feel like there was some influence there, and that's pretty interesting, because I believe the original idea for EA and the way they were going to create the games was one year they'd do Medal of Honor, the next year they'd do Battlefield, and unfortunately that didn't work out too well, as you may have known. But with that being said, I feel like there's an influence of Medal of Honor. The destruction of Battlefield Bad Company 2, while not on the exact same scale, pretty much most of the buildings, well, not most of them, but quite a lot of them can be destroyed. Destruction has definitely taken a step up in Battlefield 4. The epic moments in Battlefield 4 are definitely there, like the dam collapsing, of course the building collapsing on Siege of Shanghai. I feel like these are more gimmicky things. They do affect the gameplay, but once you see it a certain amount of times, you're kind of like, oh, okay, and you just kind of move on. Like, after, a few times of seeing the building collapse on Siege of Shanghai, you weren't like, oh wow, it was just, the building's down and all of that. So that's one thing you've got to keep in mind. It's more gimmicky than anything, but it still is very, very good, and I definitely commend DICE for it, and I enjoy it a lot. The other thing I'm loving from DICE is the maps. In Battlefield 3, a lot of the maps were kind of neglected, and I felt like some modes on sub-maps I just simply couldn't play. One of those would be Rush on Grand Bazaar. Now, I'd like to say that I have been an infantry-based gameplay player in previous Battlefields, and it's no exception for this game. That being said, I feel like I can jump into Conquest, Rush, Obliteration, and I can have a lot of fun. That's just not the way it was in Battlefield 3, and I really enjoy that. Like, I can play Conquest and have a lot of fun. I'm not, constantly running around looking for action. Even on the large Conquest maps, I feel like I can still find players. Now, that may be different for the current gen, because there is only a maximum of 24 players, but from what I've seen on PC, it's definitely a lot of fun. You can find your action, and it just, it just plays out really great. I'd say one of the best things for Battlefield 4 is the immersion in the game. DICE have been commended previously for having great sound design, and this is no exception with Battlefield 4. The sound design in Battlefield 4 is up there with some of the best of all time in any multiplayer shooter, or any multiplayer game for that matter. You can hear footsteps. When people are coming up behind you, you can turn on them because you can hear them. You can definitely sound whore if you have some good headphones. And sound whoring is, a term used in Call of Duty and other FPS games where it's infantry based. Now, I would like to say that Battlefield has taken a turn to the infantry-based gameplay. Back in Battlefield 3, it was actually shown that TDM was the most played game mode in Battlefield 3 rather, and that surprised a lot of people, because I get a lot of comments from subscribers and people in general just telling me that, Battlefield is all about the vehicles and all of that. And while the vehicles are really, really good, and I enjoy them a lot, and, they're definitely fun to learn and to get better at, I feel like the true strength of Battlefield now is in the gunplay. Playing, modes like TDM, Squad Deathmatch, and the addition of Domination being a fully fledged game mode on every map in the game goes to show you that the infantry-based gameplay is definitely key in this game now. And it doesn't take away again from Conquest, Rush, Obliteration. I mean, Obliteration is my favorite mode in the game right now, and I'm a guy who always plays TDM. So that goes to tell you something, that they've put in a lot of cool modes into the game. Defuse, a variation of Search and Destroy from previous from other FPS shooters. They've really done a good job with it. They've added a lot of variety into the game, and they've definitely done a good job with it. The maps also cater to different kinds of game modes. The one thing I will say is that there's lots of cover to take, and you can see people sometimes camping, and the game can be a little bit campy. I've seen reviews online, people taking away points from the game because people are too campy. That's not the game's fault, that's the player's fault. And I feel like as the game progresses, people will become a bit more loose and they won't be hiding so much and all of that. But with that being said, when you're playing against good players, of course they're going to take cover, of course they're going to head glitch. That's the skill base right there. In a game like, let's say, Call of Duty, where it's more of an arcade shooter, people just run around and shoot and all of that. Battlefield, you've got to really think about what you're doing and how you're going to do it, and you can really dominate. It's not about who sees who first. You can turn on a guy because, it doesn't take 3 bullets to kill someone all the time, There's deviation and things you got to worry about. For people coming into Battlefield, a piece of advice in terms of gunplay, I'll say when you're shooting someone, let's say a close, medium, and even long range, stand still. If you're dodging and weaving, your weapon will have a lot of bullet deviation, so you want to avoid that as much as possible. Stand still and your weapon will be much easier to control. So getting back onto my original point, Battlefield 4 has taken a turn to the infantry-based gameplay. Domination, which was once a mode that was just a DLC in the DLC Close Quarters in Battlefield 3, has now become a fully fledged game mode, and I definitely think that's a good thing. I feel like if they can really, I feel like they've taken on the general audience. They've been what I think they've done really, really well is that they've been able to cater to the general audience while, maintaining the skill base within the game. You have to be good to do well. But at the same time, you can just jump in a game of TDM or domination, and when you want to shoot people, you can just go do that. If you want to have a bit more slower paced gameplay, you can go play some Conquest. There's something for everybody in this game, and you've done well when that's the case. When I went over earlier, the sound design, the immersion in the game is top notch, and it's probably the best sound design in any FPS shooter or any multiplayer game that I've ever seen, and the graphics are no exception to that either. Visually, this is the best game I've ever played. Flat out. I played on Ultra and this game just looks absolutely stunning. It immediately shines out to me on the map Hainan Resort. I may have said that wrong, but Hainan Resort. The map plays out really, really well, and it just looks amazing. I mean, you can just look at this map for ages. I'll tell you what, the first time I got onto this map, I was playing Obliteration, and I was just looking around. Like, this map is just absolutely stunning. I'll probably do a video just on that map alone. I just enjoy playing it that much. That the map itself is just really... That's the other thing as well. Like, the maps play out so goddamn well, and they just look so good. The immersion is an all-time high with Battlefield 4. The sound, the graphics, the way the weapons shoot, just everything just culminates together to be this amazing game. With that being said, there are a couple of issues that I want to go over. On the PC side, there is the rubber banding. People are calling it the netcode. I believe it's something different. I believe that it's the addition of spectator mode. Spectator mode has been added in Battlefield 4, and I believe it was not a good idea, and I now see why. Back at the end of Battlefield 3, I believe I made a commentary about this somewhere back. I said, don't add spectator mode, because what it's going to do is it's going to be recording people's gameplay, and it's going to be adding lag to the game. Anything that does that is definitely a minus. You've seen it in games like Call of Duty. The addition of theater mode to Call of Duty made the game extra laggy. You've seen this after Call of Duty 4, where there was no theater mode. Call of Duty 4 was regarded as the best Call of Duty of all time. That was because there was no BS. I think you're going to see a lot of BS in Battlefield 4 because of this rubber banding. On the same sense, I'd like to say on the current gen consoles, from what I know, don't have spectator mode. The interesting thing about that is people are saying that it's the perfect connection. Is this a coincidence? Maybe, maybe not. I'll leave that to you to decide. But on that note, I'd like you to tell me in the comments section below what you think of this game so far. The positives and negatives that I see in this game, the positives totally outweigh the negatives. This game is a 9.8 out of 10 for me so far. That may go up or down as time goes on, but right now, this game is absolutely amazing. Before I end this video, I want to speak about a couple of things. The intro and outro, the outro you're about to see in a few seconds, was made by 77 Karking. I'll leave his link in the description. He makes some absolutely beast videos. You definitely want to go check him out. He does some great stuff and he's definitely worth a look. I want to give a massive thanks to him because, you know, with this, I really enjoy the intro and outro. Hopefully you guys do as well. You can tell me what you think of them in the comments section below. I'd also like to give a shout out to my second channel. Now I'm going to be doing Let's Plays and you know, I was thinking like, since I did my Battlefield 4 setup video, if you haven't seen that, just go to my channel, you can go check that out. People have, you know, were kind of pressuring me to doing a face reveal. I feel like if I was ever going to do one, it would probably be on that channel. I'm not sure, but I know I'm kind of teasing that, but I don't want to seem like I'm doing that, but you know, I'm going to be doing some really cool stuff on that channel. You know, and when I'm going to be starting series, I'm going to do it first on that channel, so you can be the first to see that, and I'll definitely be posting gameplays and a lot more stuff on that channel. So the link will be in the description. Karking77, I want you to go subscribe to him. Subscribe to my second channel. I'd really appreciate it if you did. You guys are absolutely awesome. I appreciate the support that you guys give me. I'm mumbling on right now, but again, thank you guys for the support. You guys are awesome. Battlefield 4 is absolutely amazing. Many more videos coming up. The return of my series from Battlefield 3, requested loadout, my weapon reviews, and a lot more. I've got a really good series coming up, so better keep your eye on my channel, baby, because that's the way we roll. But with that being said, tell me what you think of the game so far in the comment section below. But that's pretty much it from me, guys. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and peace.